Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. How many of you used to love to bring in cupcakes or brownies or cookies for your birthday to grade school? I used to love it. It was a time where you and your friends could celebrate your birthday and the spotlight was on you for a little bit. One of my favorite treats to bring in for my birthday was funfetti cupcakes. I'm sure all of you know what I'm talking about. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the perfect birthday treat by demonstrating how to follow the recipe and bake funfetti cupcakes. It's always good to learn how to do something that will come in handy for you someday. And some of you might be thinking, Meredith, I'm not really sure that this is going to come in handy. But I promise you that it will. Whether you have a function to go to and you want something cheap and easy to make, to bring, or you have a birthday party that you need to go to, or even if your Sunday school class is having a big end of the year celebration, this is cheap and easy to bring. Ever since I was little, I used to love to bake with my grandma. She used to show me how to follow recipes and how to make things taste really good. Most of the time it was when I was sick home from school, and I'm not really sure now today if that was very sanitary, but it's where I learned most of what I know today. So as you can see, I have everything here that we are going to need to make funfetti cupcakes today. The first thing that you're going to need to do is run to your local grocery store and buy a box of funfetti cake mix. You'll also need to buy some icing as well as sprinkles and little cupcake holders so that it doesn't burn the pan when you cook it. Also, you'll need water, oil, and eggs, which are normally staples in your house, so you usually don't have to run out and get them, but just make sure you have them when you're getting ready to bake. As you see here, I have the mix ready to go, and I'm going to pour it into a medium-sized bowl. You want to make sure that you have a big enough bowl because when you add your liquid ingredients, you don't want it to overflow and make a big mess. Okay, after I have that, you're going to start placing your liquid ingredients into the bowl as well. The first thing you're going to do is add a cup of water, and then you're going to need a third cup of oil. You want to get down low to make sure that it's level, and then you don't have too much or too little. After you have that together, you're going to need to add 3 eggs, but a trick that my grandmother taught me was never to crack the eggs directly into your bowl with your mixture. In case there's a rotten egg, you don't want to spoil everything. So I'm going to come over here and crack these eggs into a smaller bowl so that we can make sure that they're all good and ready to be added into the big bowl. Another little thing that she taught me was to mix the eggs before you put them in because it just limits your time of how much you have to stir the whole mixture together and make sure they're mixed really well. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. This is ready to go, and I'm going to add it into the big mixture. Okay, now I have everything in, and I'm going to start stirring it together. It says to stir for about 2 minutes, but it's usually just until everything's completely mixed and it looks like there's not too many lumps or anything in it. Now, I bought some icing and sprinkles because I don't know about you, but I like to make my desserts look pretty. I don't like any dessert just with icing on it. You have to add a little color. Now, some people like to make their own icing, but for me it never really turns out well. It always looks kind of messy and it tastes not as good as store-bought. So I just went the easy route this time and bought some at the store. And after I bake the cupcakes and they cool, that's when we get to decorate and make them look pretty. I'm just going to stir this a little bit longer, make sure everything is completely in there. You don't want to bite into a cupcake and have chunks coming in. That's gross. Okay. This looks just about perfect. And I'm going to line our cupcake holders over here so that the mixture won't burn and leave residue all over your pans. And it's cute spring colors, so that'll make it pop even more. Now when you stir your mixture in, you're only going to want to fill each cup about 2/3 full, because when you bake it, the cake batter will rise and you don't want it to overflow and make a big mess. So you're just going to fill it about 2/3 of the way. For each one. Now that we filled all of our cups, I'm going to place them in the oven to bake at 350 for about 18 to 22 minutes. And then once they cool off, we can start decorating them. I have let the cupcakes cool and have decorated almost all of them, and this is the last one I'm going to do. So all you do is take a little bit of icing, put it on, cover the whole top. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you cover all the cake. And then for a final touch, just sprinkle some sprinkles, add a little color, and voila! We have made funfetti cupcakes. I've just showed you how to make an absolutely delicious treat for very little money and very little time. So whether you need to make these for a birthday party like I have, or if you just want something sweet to munch on, funfetti cupcakes are definitely the perfect choice. Learn how to follow a recipe and enjoy the outcome. Happy baking!